Tilting in chess can be a real challenge, affecting your performance and your overall enjoyment of the game. Whether it's after a string of losses or a frustrating blunder, everyone experiences tilt. In today's video, I'll share some effective strategies I have used myself to overcome tilt so you can focus on improving your game. But first, we have to ask the question, why do we tilt? Tilting is a simple concept. Let's use 10+0 rapid chess as an example. The typical rapid game lasts for about 15 minutes. Assuming we're excluding outliers such as early disconnects and early traps leading to resignation, the standard game won't quite reach the time scramble, but won't conclude in the first half of the game. So with that being said, each game takes roughly 15 minutes. This is also assuming we're not taking breaks between games and we're not reviewing our games that we've played. Tilting is essentially chasing your losses. When you lose a game of chess, you're eager to quickly win back the elo as to not waste time in your session. But the reality is, trying to get a quick win actually contributes to your own downfall.
Quick win, chat? Is it a quick win you ordered? A quick win? Give me that queen! Give me that
When you're consciously trying to play fast in order to regain lost elo, you're obviously going to play worse. You're spending less time thinking about your moves, taking bigger risks to yield bigger rewards, and generally not playing the way that earned you the elo you're playing at in the first place. But this is slightly confusing because sometimes this doesn't happen. Sometimes you lose elo and then you're completely happy to play the way that you've been playing and it works. You continue to win games after losing. So what actually causes a tilt? There are numerous reasons that might cause a tilt. Generally, we don't think about it at all and we just get frustrated and start losing elo, but there are actually things that cause us to lose the elo in the first place. Usually, we'll get into a mindset of feeling hard done by. We'll feel like our opponents are getting lucky and that we're just getting unlucky. However, when we actually do tilt, you'll find that it's because of one of these 5 triggers. It is crucial to recognize what triggers you to tilt in chess. Here are 5 of the most common examples. Emotional state. If you're feeling anxious, angry, or frustrated about any of the aspects in your life, this can spill over into your chess games. It might just be a stressful day at work, or even stress caused by losing too many games in a row.
I don't even care because he offered a draw and I offered the very next
I offered a draw.
Of course, some people use chess as an outlet to blow off steam after a long day, but if you care about your rating, I definitely recommend playing some unrated games or playing on an alternate account. Physical state. Your physical state greatly influences your chess performance, so it's important to be mindful of it. Fatigue, illness, and injury can all impair focus and decision making. Playing on an empty stomach or in discomfort can also distract you. When I was around 1700 elo, I had all 4 of my wisdom teeth removed. I tried to play whilst I was recovering, but I was seeing a massive downward spiral in my rating. Not only was I in extreme discomfort, but I was also on medication to relieve the pain, which made my decision making worse. This led to me getting very frustrated and losing much more elo than I otherwise would have. There is no shame in taking a night off or even taking a week off to recover from something. Replay value. If you frequently play the same opponents or openings and are stuck in a rut, the predictability can lead to boredom and frustration. While switching openings might not be possible for more amateur players, avoiding rematches is something that I would definitely recommend. Distractions. External distractions such as noise or interruptions can hinder your focus. If you're in a noisy environment or frequently interrupted, it's easy to become frustrated. Create a conductive playing environment to minimize these distractions. And lastly, unrealistic expectations. Sometimes we set goals for ourselves that were simply never going to be achieved.
Because when I become the first American world champion,
chess is going to be mainstream.
Whether it's a long-term goal or a short-term goal, sometimes if we feel like we're falling short of what we wanted to do, we feel like we need to throw a Hail Mary to get us back on track. The most common example of this is in any playing session. We lose, let's say, 4 games in a row to begin with, and the entire session following revolves around gaining the elo back and getting back to square one. If we struggle to do this, it can spiral out of control and land us 100 elo back from where we started. All of these triggers result in us playing bad chess to begin with, getting frustrated that we're losing so many games for such little reason, and growing more frustrated every game we play. But how do we fix this while it's happening? Or better yet, how do we stop it from happening altogether? Limit your games. First, set a limit of games that you should be playing each day. This should limit burnout and frustration. For anyone trying to improve at chess, you really should be limiting yourself to a certain amount of games per day anyway. Here is some advice for each time control. Rapid. On a day-to-day basis, you should be limiting yourself to around 5 rapid games per day. However, if you're playing 15 plus 10 or higher, you should really never go beyond 5 games. Reviewing your games after you've played them and learning from your mistakes can take up to 20 minutes per game, if you're being thorough. So realistically, you shouldn't have time to play much more, and if you do, it may be an indication that you're not reviewing your games properly. Blitz. Blitz games are a little bit different. If you play 5 plus 0 Blitz, you should probably limit yourself to around 10 games per day, exactly 2 times the amount of rapid games I would recommend. This is simply because the games are half the length. If you're playing 3 plus 0 though, the set amount of games becomes a little bit more difficult to put a number to, as it would be difficult to keep track of it regardless without losing focus on your games. Generally speaking though, I would say somewhere around the 15 to 20 game mark should be more than enough. Bullet. No matter what you do, limiting yourself to a certain amount of bullet games won't fix your tilt. In some cases, tanking your rating in bullet to verse easier opponents and then using that momentum to regain all of your rating is actually viable. The rating swings in bullet can really make you come full circle when it comes to tilting. You can lose up to 200 elo in one session and make it all back the next day. Because the games are so short, tilting is very different in bullet, and game limitation isn't so applicable. Take breaks between games. You don't have to play all of your daily chess games in a row. Whilst it's good to keep momentum whilst you're on a winning streak, sometimes the only thing you need to break a tilt is a couple of hours break. Sometimes you don't actually realize how many games you've already played. If you're not limiting yourself to X amount of games per day, it's hard to realize how long you've actually been playing for. 1 hour, 2 hours, or maybe more? Sometimes it's not a bad idea to just stand up from your computer and take a walk before starting your next game. We see professional players do this all the time. In classical chess, they'll stand up from their boards and go for a walk very frequently, and even in online chess, they'll take breaks, go up for a walk, and come back for their next game. So take a break, go for a walk and grab some water, and reset your chess. Switch platforms. Switching platforms is a fantastic way to prevent tilting in chess. Typically, everyone has one website they care about, and one they don't. Whether it be Lichess or chess.com, it doesn't really matter. You should consider swapping over to a different website and playing over there. When we're on tilt, sometimes it's not even the rating that's our concern. It's the fact that we just want to play more games. This is why we usually don't even care about how much rating we've lost until the end of the session. If this is the case, why not switch to an account that you don't care about the rating so you can just focus on the chess? This can be a good way to avoiding losing elo at all. If you recognize one of the triggers we spoke about earlier, you might find it a better choice to play on an account you don't care about from the beginning. So at the end of the day, even if you do lose a lot of elo, it wasn't on the account that you care about. Review your games. Even if you're tilting, take the time to review your games after you play them. There is always something to learn from your games, and this can help you shift your mindset from frustration to improvement. There is actually a few things that reviewing your games can do to prevent you from tilting. Let's take a look at them. Outlining obvious mistakes. Without reviewing our games, it's incredibly easy to make mistakes game after game. For example, let's say you're playing the Sicilian defense and your opponent is playing the Mengerini variation. This is a fairly uncommon sideline, but it still comes up from time to time and wouldn't be impossible to be played twice in a row. Mistakes happen at all levels, and it's very reasonable to completely forget the opening moves in a specific line without even thinking that you're wrong. In reality, you could be playing a lost position from the beginning without even knowing it. Reviewing your games helps you pick up on things like this, and if you're consistent enough, you might remember game reviews you did several days earlier, which can help you in your current game. Recognizing patterns. Especially prevalent to people who primarily play a single opening for each color, it's crucial to recognize patterns within your games through the game review. Sometimes it doesn't even matter that you have an engine to assist your review. Just looking back through your games with a clear head can help you understand the position that you were playing. This might seem great in hindsight, but the amount of games that you will play in one single session that are almost identical to one another is far too many to pretend that going back and looking at the game review is needless. You will pick up on obvious patterns from your games whilst going through the game review, and it will help you in your future games. Mindset shift. Sometimes after a loss, it's easy to think that you're just terrible at chess and move on to the next game. But reviewing your games can actually reveal that you outplayed your opponent for the vast majority of the game. Something important to understand about amateur chess players is that we're all really bad at evaluating positions. Online chess will tell us the material, and most of us just use that to tell us if you're winning or losing. So in a lot of the games that you lost, it can be a massive confidence boost to see that you actually played well and take that momentum into the next game. And that's all the tips I have for you guys today. Hopefully after watching this video, you can reduce the impact of tilting in your chess journey. Remember that chess is all about the enjoyment, and the improvement of your rating is just a bonus. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always, if you think I missed something, leave a comment below on how you stop tilting in chess. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.